Welcome to Flip Lesson 54 for the 6th grade. Today we're going to look at different ways to reduce fractions, and then we're also going to get into dividing fractions and the process that we want to take. So first of all, as we look at this problem, what has happened is I've taken a fraction and broken it down into prime numbers. Remember, prime numbers are numbers that can't be divisible by anything. And so what we see as we break down these numbers into prime numbers, we have 2 times 3 times 3 times 7 over 2 times 3 times 5 times 7. And so we have these ideas. Now, when we see something like this, we have the idea of reducing this fraction. In other words, we want to take out fractions that are equal to 1. For example, I can look at this idea right here. A 2 over a 2 is a fraction equal to 1. So, that equals 1. Just like I can look at right here, the fraction 3 over 3, that's also equal to 1. And finally, you notice that 7 over 7 is equal to 1. And so in the end, what I have here is I have 1 times 1 times 3 over 5 times 1. And just like that, we reduced our fraction to equal 3/5. So by finding like terms, numerator and denominator that are the same, we can reduce fractions, right? We're looking for those similarities, looking for the number 1. 2 over 2 is 1. 3 over 3 is 1. 7 over 7 is 1. And so that's our first look at reducing fractions. So we're going to continue looking at fractions about this. Then, the other idea that we want to look at is dividing fractions. The question says, how many 1/4 are in 2/3? In other words, we have this problem, 1/4 divided by 2/3. This kind of goes back to something we looked at just a little bit ago, dividing whole numbers by 2/3. And our first step is to figure out, well, what is 1 divided by 2/3? In essence, what we're looking for right here is we're looking for what is the reciprocal. 1 divided by 2/3 is going to be 3 over 2. And then, you remember that the next step was, okay, start our problem over again. 1/4. Now we want to multiply by the reciprocal. Now we can solve. 1 times 3 is 3. And 4 times 2 is 8. And in the end, 1/4 divided by 2/3 is 3/8. So we're going to follow this process. Let's do another one. If we switch it around, how many 2/3 are in 1/4? See the equation put out right there. First idea, find the reciprocal of our second fraction, our divisor, if you will. Remember, we're dividing by. So in other words, that's 1 divided by 1/4. It's going to give us 4 over 1 for our reciprocal. Now we can go back to our original problem, 2/3. Now we're going to multiply by the reciprocal. In the end, I wrote 4 over 3. I got confused there. That was right. Okay, 2 times 4 equals 8, and 3 times 1 equals 3. Then, of course, we want to put this in proper terms. So that's going to be 2 and 2. So in the end, what we're looking at doing is we're looking at finding the reciprocal of the second fraction, not the first one, right? This number right here is our dividend. We're not going to change that one. We're not going to flip both fractions. We're just going to flip the second one, right? Our divisor. This one is our divisor. This is the one that gets flipped. Right? This is the one that we find the reciprocal. Not this one. Not our first one. Just like in our first example, here is the number. The number we're dividing by. Divisor. This is the number that we find the reciprocal. Not this one. Not our first one. Okay? That one has to stay the same. That one stays 1/4. See? It stayed 1/4. That's what we're dividing. So we have that. Okay. That's our lesson. So we have reducing fractions by taking out one, right? Fractions that match up. And then we have dividing fractions also. That is lesson 15.